Let's see what this is. Let's see what this is. Okay, why is there... What is this, bro? Why is there always a stupid little dangling on the bottom of my screen? What is this?
If you want to cast your Quest 2 headset to appear...
Dude, I'll do this. I'll do it tomorrow. That's a lot of work. Oh, shit. Spoilers.
Who are you?
All right, let's see what we got going on.
There are dozens of game launchers and marketplaces available right
Because this is
now.
about
A
Steam, and
handful
Steam
of
is
them
like
exist
actually
because
kind of
they have
goated.
extremely popular games on them and want to maximize their profit without
Steam
a
is
middleman.
actually kinda
One of them
goated.
gives away 2 free games every week, and Steam just exists and wins. Well, it's actually a lot more complicated than that. Despite the service being old enough to drink in America and suffering from almost every AAA gaming company out there trying to outdo it, Steam still reigns as the ultimate gaming marketplace with 132 million average users each month. But when the service first launched, it was nothing like the Steam we know and love today. In the early 2000s, Valve faced a serious problem with their games, which was
He's a Friday the
updating
13th shirt. He's goated.
It wasn't the development of the updates that was the problem. It was getting players to download the updated files that sucked for everybody. To make sure you could play with everybody else, you had to go on Valve servers and download the files from there, which was pretty inconvenient since you couldn't have the update automatically installed for when you get back from work,
that's
woke up
kinda
in the
sus.
morning, or returned from going outside for the
like
first
Friday the
time in
13th,
centuries because you were
Forsaken.
too busy playing Star Wars Knights of the Republic. And on that day, September 12th, 2003, Steam released for the convenience of mostly Counter-Strike players all around the world, and the service continued to be used as a spot where people could play Valve's games. And it's not like their games weren't good enough to justify having a separate app for them. They were insane.
Wasn't Counter-Strike like one of the best
in
though?
your library and play Half-Life 2.
Wasn't Counter-Strike like one of the best games though at the time?
Modern day, it's still a fun experience because of its physics-based gameplay.
Don't drink the water. They put something in it to make you forget.
It's safer.
Watch it, will you?
Ambience, soundtrack, Barney, and luscious water reflections.
Half-Life?
At this point in Valve's lifespan, they had already changed the industry in ways nobody could have anticipated. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has a few different versions of it on the PlayStation 2 because Rockstar couldn't just update the game through digital distribution, and instead had to physically re-release the game without anybody knowing. And this happened quite a few times among a bunch of different physical titles. But because of Valve's new creation, which was Steam updating games post-release, it was finally possible through that service. And to this day,
Wait, so Steam created updates? Wait, that's fire!
Valve keeps their games even from
Steam
20
kinda
years
got it
ago
like
up
that
to
then.
date using that feature Steam
They
was
created
made
it.
for. I sure wish other companies would keep their older games up to date instead of just letting them decay under the weight of new drivers while keeping them at an $80 price tag. Aside from my gripes and cries of grief, Steam was flying from the early to late 2000s, getting more games from more publishers all the time, and eventually it became the PC gaming storefront, claiming 75% of digital video game sales in 2013. However, Steam also
I can
took
roll back my
and
Universe
takes
Sandbox, too.
30% of a game's cut when it gets purchased.
Look at that.
So if you pay $90 for a video game, the developer will only get 63 of those dollars. Now,
Dude,
it
that's
can
a
be
lot.
debated whether this is good or bad, but one thing's for certain, it's the industry standard. The PlayStation
Dude, out of all the companies that I'm buying a game from, Steam deserves most of the money, bro. Most of the games I get are from Steam just making it 100% off, pretty much. Out of nowhere. Like, I'll add a game to my wishlist, and then, like, 2 days later, it's, like, 50% off. Okay.
and Xbox
I'm not
digital
playing
storefronts
Basketball
take a
Zero.
30% cut of profits, and so
Well, exactly like PlayStation and Xbox, dude, they do the same. They had to take the same cut, but they don't put anything on sale.
Nintendo, GameStop, and basically every single service except the Epic Games Store. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The Epic Games launcher has its own problem, and it's that the launcher just isn't very good. Steam is so convenient,
facts.
and I'm not talking about how it has a way bigger game library than
Facts.
Epic. I'm talking
not
about
playing-
its overlay while playing video games. As somebody with one monitor and a completionist, Steam offers a fantastic variety of digital gadgets that I can access anytime I click Shift and Tab. I can have a website open with every Dreamcatcher location in Red Dead 2 that I check every time I get to my next waypoint. I
Wait,
can
what?
manually
You can
change
do
what
that?
each button on my controller does. I can find a community guide that can help me with an achievement. Steam has been around for over 20 years, and in this time, it's built.
I've
a
never
strong
looked up on
community that
Steam
exists to
guides.
help
Has
other
anyone
people
ever
using the
looked up on
platform.
Steam guides before? I feel like it's just look up on YouTube.
If you're
no?
having a problem with a game, chances are there's already a few Steam forums on that subject. And if you don't have anybody to
I'm
play
not
with,
playing
chances are
Basketball
there's a
Zero.
Steam group surrounding the game you want
You
to play.
have?
If you don't know whether a game is good or not, Steam reviews have your back. But if you go to the
I
Epic
do look
Store
at
to
Steam
make
reviews,
a purchase
though.
and look for what people thought about the product, the only thing you can check is this vague 1 to 5 star system
Don't
influenced by what the
wanna.
players thought out of 5. The problem with this system is that it might work for YouTubers who can elaborate with a whole 8-minute video, but video games are so complex, from level design and storytelling to the controls and optimization, you can't
Someone
just rank
say
a game from 1 to
Gartic.
5. As someone
not-
with well over 100 games on Steam, user reviews have saved my ass multiple times that warn me about certain computer parts that might not work well with the game's engine, or just a dragged out story that loses its touch halfway through the game. On the Epic Games Store,
Nah, facts,
Assassin's
though.
Creed
Facts,
Valhalla
though.
is rated 4.6 stars out of 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2
I'm-
is rated 4.9. I hate to be
I'm
that
not
guy that's
playing
very sure
Gartic!
about his opinion, but I am very sure in my opinion in believing that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is in no way only 0.3 stars worse than Red Dead 2. But how is someone using this service supposed to know that? Because there's nothing to base it on other than
Is that
what
a
the
shooting
stars
star?
say. Steam also heavily encourages player customization, which makes playing games through Steam even more worth it. Because if you get a really cool or rare achievement, you can display it on your profile. Or when you get a smexy screenshot, you can slap it on your page. And some games offer exclusive
I feel like that's
profile
just doing
picture
too
and
much,
background
though. I don't
displays
really
that
care
make you
for
wanna
what my-
play for
my
those
thing
bonuses.
is.
I think it's amazing. There's even
L
a user-oriented
stream.
marketplace, like how in PUBG, if you
throw
don't like a
balls
shirt you
around.
got, chances are another player will, so you can throw it on the marketplace and get a few cents from it. Then you go back to the Epic Games launcher to check on your friend, and there's nothing to that person except a username. But Steam gives everybody a sense of true individuality, which is without a doubt great to have, and
I mean, it's
unlike
cool,
PlayStation,
but, like,
which makes
still.
you pay to change your username, or
It's not that
Nintendo that
crazy.
barely lets you express yourself on your profile, it's probably the best gaming platform for
It's really not even that
customization.
crazy,
But even
though.
though Steam is awesome for consumers, it's clearly not as awesome for developers. So naturally, a lot of AAA studios pulled away
Very
from
good
Steam
animation,
and instead
easy to
released their
play,
games on
fun.
Epic or even their own launchers. When Ubisoft publicly announced they wouldn't be releasing Tom Clancy's The Division 2 on Steam and would be releasing it on their own launcher in Epic, they claimed, "We entrust Epic to deliver a smooth journey for our fans, from pre-ordering the game and enjoying our beta to the launch." Epic continues to disrupt the video game industry, and their third-party digital distribution model is the latest example, and something Ubisoft wants to support. Electronic Arts for a long time didn't have their games on Steam as well, but that wasn't because of Epic Games being a superior platform. It was because
Gives me
EA
old
wanted to
YouTube
push
vibes back when
microtransactions
people were
and
able to
didn't want
customize their
Valve
page a lot
taking
more.
30%
Good night,
cut from
Tasee.
each
Love you,
one.
love
While
you,
both
chat.
companies
Hey,
at
good
one
night, bro.
point
Appreciate
weren't
you,
releasing
man.
their games on Steam,
Happy.
if you check the store
It's not my birthday, bro.
today, you'll find pretty much every single one of their titles up for sale. So
The
what
YouTube
the
back.
hell
Were they
happened?
actually?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare from 2019 didn't release on Steam
I don't
and
remember.
instead was up for sale on Blizzard's launcher Battle.net. Modern Warfare 2019 reached $1 billion in sales.
I'm not
revenue
playing
after
Basketball
54
Zero.
days of being out. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2022, which was released on Steam, 2 reached the same sales number 10 days after launch. Ubisoft's newest game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, is,
Gartic.
as of March 22nd, 2025, sitting right under CSGO in the top sellers section.
I'm literally
of
about
the
to end
store.
stream
And
after this,
considering
bro, I swear.
Counter-Strike is a free game, that's pretty damn impressive.
Hey, let's
And for
schedule
the
one.
last 5 years or so, PlayStation exclusives that would never have seen the light of
Name
day on PC
one game
have
of
been launched
Gartic.
on Steam, and Xbox also jumped on that train as well, throwing pretty much every Halo game on PC. The numbers say it all. It doesn't matter if Epic Games takes a 12% cut opposed to 30. Steam is such a popular platform among consumers that developers will make more money releasing their games on Steam no matter what. Because let's
Yeah,
face it,
facts.
it's, for consumers, an awesome service. The other day I was browsing Steam and I saw a bundle of 4 games that were 25% off if you bought them through a package. Well, 6 years ago I had already purchased 3 of the 4 games individually, but because I hadn't got the 4th game, I could still buy it through that bundle for 25% off, shifting the price from a steep $80 to a much more agreeable $60. This is such an unnecessary but wonderful feature for customers to have. Valve
One
does
game
not
of
need to push
Gartic of
discounts
bad
this
stuff,
much to be
too.
massively successful, but they do just because Steam's that kind of marketplace. Every few months there will be a new huge sale where almost every video game over 4 years of
Yo,
age
bro.
goes under $40 in Canada, and Valve games usually go for less than $2, and hell, for the anniversaries they gave them away for free. Steam has even banned games that force players to watch ads before progressing, like a lot of mobile games do. Valve could have easily taken 30% of the ad revenue, but instead they banned the practice altogether just because of how inconvenient it is for the player. While Steam certainly takes a sizable chunk out of of the developer's pocket when it comes to game sales. I'm happy that out of all the services that could be the top dog, it's Steam. Because Valve is setting a standard.
They deserve
of what
it,
a
bro.
marketplace should be. Think about Nintendo that never puts their games on sale and charges a monthly fee if you want to play their older titles, instead of just archiving them in the eShop. Imagine if they were behind the biggest digital game store in the world. It would be way different, because the fact is, the one on top influences everyone else. Fortnite didn't invent the Battle Pass, but it sure as hell wasn't a coincidence that after Fortnite implemented the seasonal leveling system, a lot of other games added their own, including massive companies like Rockstar with the Outlaw Pass and Red Dead Online. Xbox Live launched in 2002,
Yo, it's me,
offering
Royal.
an
What's up,
online
bro?
multiplayer console experience.
I'm not
if
playing
you paid
Basketball
$50
Zero
a year.
or
And prior to
Gartic,
this,
bro.
online gaming on PC at least was completely free, and thank God it still is, because now PlayStation and Nintendo also capitalize big time.
Chat, I'll
on
do
paid
it tomorrow.
Because of
L
Xbox's
Tasee.
influence in the early 2000s. It's like Valve has given every opportunity to monetize their products to the brim, like every other gaming company is doing right now, but they don't, which allows them to stand out in the corporate world. It also helps that Valve's hiring process is very unique in that they don't offer internships or junior positions. They exclusively hire professionals in their field, so the employees can take charge of whatever they're best at. So there's a reason why Half-Life stood out when it came to physics in the early 2000s, because the game was made by computer wizards who knew everything they needed to create an authentic physics-based shooter. Steam is run by marketing professionals who
Say
do
happy
what they
birthday,
believe
my
is
friend
best
Cole.
based on pure
Happy birthday,
experience.
Cole.
Unlike most companies, Valve
I
has
want you
no
to play the
pressure
VR
from
game tomorrow.
shareholders, meaning there's no external investments going into Steam, their video games,
Sunday's
or
a
hardware.
bad
It's all
day.
entirely
Look,
in-house,
bro.
and the only people who get
Chat, bro, we got the Steam key Sunday tomorrow, and then we got the VR game, and then we got whatever we got time left for, alright?
stock options for Valve are the employees themselves, which gives each member a small
Gartic
piece of the
and
company.
Basketball
So
Zero on the
naturally, every
last
single
of my
one of them
list right
wants
now.
the company to be at its best all the time. The fact is, when you treat your employees well and give them the creative freedom they deserve, whatever your company puts out is going to be amazing, and Valve is living
Gartic,
proof
please,
of
it'll
that. My
make me
favorite
happy.
example of Valve as a company standing out in the game industry was in 2004 when Eric Wolpaw was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. With something that bad, he thought he'd have to leave the company, so he spoke with the CEO of Valve, Gabe Newell, about it. Not only did Gabe give him paid leave, but he also left him his spot in the company on the condition that he takes the time he needs to recover. To quote what Gabe said to him himself, "Your job is to get better. That is your job description at Valve. So go home to your wife and come back when you are better." This kind of generosity in the corporate world, especially from businesses that are self-funded, is extremely rare. And after recovering from his sickness, he worked as the head writer for Portal 2, which, as we all know, was a massive success. Sorry, this video is about Steam. With a platform like Steam, with over
Be a
100
good
million people
viewer
using it
or
every month
streamer
like they said at
and
the
listen
start of
to
the
your
video, you'd think the
viewers.
customer service would be pretty lackluster.
Dude, I
given the
have
amount of
been.
traffic the employees would be dealing with, which, by the way, in total is between 300 to 500 people, and roughly only 70 of those people are in the Steam department.
literally what I
Most
do
people,
every
including
stream,
myself,
bro.
have had overwhelmingly positive experiences with Steam support. Refunds are easy, bug reports get taken seriously, and I even had a friend whose account got hacked once, and in 2 hours he had his account back with no other issues. Steam can't be beat because it's a staple of what a digital market should be, and if Valve continues to run with their current values in business, I'm sure that Steam will continue to set an example. And keep
Steam
the industry
deserves
from
to be the
diving
top.
into a complete
Steam deserves to make a
anti-consumer market, like all
monopoly,
these other
honestly, bro.
companies seem to be catering towards. But what do you guys think about all this? Do you like Steam? Do you hate Steam?
Dude, no, Steam deserves to make like a monopoly of themselves, honestly, and just take over the entire system of selling games, making like a little website and shit. Cause bro, they do it right. They do it good and they do it right. Like, tell me why I just open up Steam right now and I got an 85% off EA deal going on, and it's just like 1,000 EA games that are like 70% off and above. Like, dude, nobody ever is doing that, bruh. Nobody's ever doing that.